Hello? It's my kitty cat. So today we're going to continue with all my old stuff. Stuff that was already pre-built long before I thought to record YouTube videos. And first of all, we're going to do the first half, or sorry, the second half of what we covered in the first half of the previous video. So now we're at the jungle area, which takes a while to get to through the nether. It's a bit of a walk. So that's why I spared you guys the walk. So we're going up the stairs. I mean, it took a long time to find this place in the first place. It was just a nightmare to get to. But that's my daughter's view. I mean, it's a really nice little, you know, home away from home. Gotta have your homes away from home. And because this one's so far away, it's like 8,000 blocks. I can't remember. So we literally, I built a home here. That way when we wanted to gather resources or just visit different places, we had a jumping off point. I mean, there I was, I think, looking for a village or something. I don't know. I don't pretend to know what's in my mind sometimes. And now we're at a new place. See, that didn't take long, did it? This is the seed we started after the previous one, because we wanted to give my husband a chance to try starting from scratch. So, because when he came into the other server, we were already established. We had iron, you could get iron tools and armor, and, you know, he was set for life. So we thought we'd start him off on a, what would happen if you had to do this solo thing. So this is where the garden is. This is what my daughter did. And I did the dock. Most of the building the structures is usually me, and most of the gardening and farm work is usually her, except where they intersect, like with the animals. Now, in this one, I decided to go with, I mean, I wanted to grow other trees, but I wanted to make sure that the jungle wasn't going to encroach on it, so I decided to put this in place. It's like a little country, little fancy garden, you know. A lot of wealthy places have them. Walled garden. And this is a little shopping district area, which is just our workshop, but it's out in the open for a change. Just experimenting with really different ideas. That's just where we hide our trunks for taking care of the livestock and me stocking the seeds, you know. Your usual garden trunks. And it's my first time building against a tree, so if it's a bit bumpety, you'll have to forgive me. It was the first time I'd ever put stairs up a tree and put houses in a tree per se. Like the other place, I did it differently. So, and yes, I know I was using that awful orange wood at the time. It was really bad. I mean, there's a savanna not too far away, so, you know, you have to take advantage. There's the birds. I've since decided that birds are just too much trouble because they always make those horrible noises, like as if there's monsters nearby. So that was my room, and this is my daughter's room. She wanted jungle oaks, or jungle wood, so I made it all jungle wood, and we had a village quite nearby. And so, you know, I made everything her favorite colors, as I always do. Well, okay, not always, but most of the time. And then, of course, you can go over to our other tree. And this is the way to the secret entrance to the mine. I mean, I thought that it'd be fun to have like a secret way to get into the mine and not have it open, and then there's a secret entrance into here. So you could literally go around from place to place. It's just it was a one-sided door. So it would stay open if you didn't shut it behind you. Not very secret when it stays open, is it? So again, we have a problem with the tight little stairways, but you know, I was really trying hard not to make them so ginormous. And all the terracotta patterns are, I just wanted to see what every pattern would look like of the terracotta colors, pretty much. So there's some up here in the magic room, in the library, and there's some down below on the walls of the garden area. I think I used every single terracotta pattern there was. It's just some of them I did not use in the library. But that was because I was experimenting. Now, we eventually left this world because we really got tired of the ocelots, because they would literally climb all over the roof. They'd get into your house. They'd eat all the chickens no matter what I tried to do. So we just got so frustrated, we ended up moving here. And this place, we decided to set up in a dark oak forest. Now, yeah, I know this is just a 1 year period. I like traveling. I like starting again, and I like new games and then coming up with new building ideas. So I went with a castle for this one. Now, yeah, it's just your rectangular castle. But I planned out the wall and took it all the way around, and as you can see, there's ways to get up to the higher tower. This part here was a nightmare to figure out because it was on a steep graded hill. It was really difficult to get down the hill because, you know, in some places it was like a four block drop. So turning it into a stairway was just a nightmare, and then having it connect up to this bridge here, which is over the river, so that you can go in one continuous loop all the way around the castle on its perimeter. Now, right now we're passing by the garden area and on our way to where the village is. Now, this village, we seeded villagers from another village way far over, and then I built houses and I let them have their own loose life outside of the castle wall. So that's your little hamlet that's just outside the castle walls. And I mean, the villagers didn't seem to have a problem with it. They found their beds. So, you know, turtle farm. Everywhere we went, we had a turtle farm. Have a little problem with the trap doors, but you know. But that's an overview of the entire garden area and the farm, and then a view of the castle from a distance. Sorry, I hadn't learned how to do zoom yet. I promise to get it down someday. I'll work on my skills as an editor, or sorry, as a video taker. But yeah, I put all the animals against the castle wall. The horse stables literally open into the open area, like outside the castle wall. This is the mine area. Double roller coaster, gotta love it. And then, you know, it's got all the little nooks, crannies, twists, turns, and staircases that you would expect from a castle. Where you take a long tour. We won't talk about that. That didn't happen. This is my daughter's room. So again, I was playing with terracotta patterns. She wanted to face out over her farm, so I gave her the balcony over the farm. And this way, if you went up the stairs, it goes to the throne room, and if you go downstairs, it leads down to the farm, because that's where she liked to spend most of her time originally, was doing all the farm stuff. I covered it all in glass because we were going to get bees eventually, so we just never did. I don't know if it's just because we couldn't find them within a close radius or what it was, but yeah, those are all the pens I came up with because I've constantly tried to upgrade the design for things like chickens. I don't like it when the animals try to leave me. It's just not right. That's the fish tank and my balcony from my room. So, you know, we were lucky that, I mean, this seed had everything nearby. I mean, everything you could think of, like terracotta and all. Okay, this is the throne room. And I tried to make it look like as if we had taken over for another culture that was here. So the pillars aren't... They stand out because they're not literally made of the same materials, which they're not supposed to be. This is the hidden access to the storage room. And then the workroom. And then if we head out this way, there's a little private garden, because the queen has to have a private garden. The queen's suite. As you can see, I'm still stuck on these patterny floors. By the way, if you like what you're watching, please leave a like. If you don't, you can leave a dislike. I mean, I like feedback. And do subscribe if you want to see more content. I really would love that. Then we go back up the secret stair and out into the main garden. And this is the main castle garden. It's also where my tree farm is, basically. Now, that water source was there originally, and I just put that around it. As you see, I was having a Zelda vibe, I think, because all of the things like little ruins all over the place, just scattered about inside of a recreation of the flower forest. And I just made it look like we just moved in over top of a ruin and took it over. Because that's what people seem to do. Is they take over places that were someone else's. Now we're going to go into the library. And this is a big library. I mean, I made this one huge. I don't normally make really large places, but I went all over the top for this just because it was a castle and, you know. So this is our little library. Little being not quite the right choice of word. And of course, you know, you have your table there, and there's the cartography table there, and a little reading garden, which looks at where the nether portal is. And my daughter and I worked on that together because she wanted a really neat temple feel for it. So I went with it. This is like the art gallery on the second floor. You know, some libraries have an art area. And this is where I displayed as many of the art pieces as I could find or make come up in the space that I had. So I'll just slip through the secret painting and go up to the potion room. This time I devoted this room just specifically to potions. Of course, it has an overlook. Yeah, because you gotta have an overlook. Keep an eye on what's going on down there. And this is like where you make all your potions and whatnot. And I tried having fun with stained glass. When you're experimenting with textures and colors and stuff, sometimes you do the most bizarre things and wonder what you were thinking at the time. And that's me. I was wondering what I was thinking at the time. And we're going back through here. I like shutting the doors. I'm a bit paranoid. I've had the area blown up at least 3 times by creepers. And then, of course, this is the nice little walk down to the boat dock, which is straight ahead here. And the boat dock links up to the main battlement wall. And I'm going to let you see how my water works. It comes out of the mouth of an ender dragon. Because I thought I'd have some fun with that. I thought it would be really a neat thing to do. And I don't regret that one. That one was fun. Now to take my daughter's magic boat ride. And this time she built what she says is an Exor gate. That's what she used to make the gate on both sides of the castle wall. I take no credit for the redstone. That's all her. I haven't got a clue. And again, I have another canal because I like making waterways where I can. And we figured we'd make a nice big waterway to connect the castle up to the ocean. And yes, there's a flower forest biome right here too. It's absolutely beautiful with all the different flowers. And that's where I got all the flowers, obviously, for my garden and my inspiration. And we're going to head to the seawall. A nice protective wall for the castle, right? Against invaders from outside. Well, you've seen all the shipwrecks, of course. People either traveling for nefarious purposes or for good. And then, of course, a little set of mini markets here. And a little way to get up to the retaining wall again. So you can defend against invaders. And the wall runs all the way from one side of the landmass to the other. Because I wanted to make sure it was very well protected. From all enemies, imagined and real. Mostly imagined. And then there's a little side way here so that you can come and pick flowers for the day. Almost feel like you're safe, you know. Alright, take the boat back. So it's not extraordinarily far. It's a nice little journey. I mean, most of this was already here when we got here. It was just small little pieces where we had to link it up, like in through here, and a bit over here, and then a little bit towards the end part, right here, where the tree is on the shore. So that was the castle build. Really fun time doing this thing. It was a pain getting all the bricks, but you know, it was fun to do. Don't mind me, I'm very boat challenged. Stretch, flip. Got it. Right? Then I get the wrong bay and I'm like, oh no, let's put it back where it belongs. Don't mind me. I would like being thorough. There. I love that boat dock. It's really cool. I really must look at how she made that and maybe make that in a future build. That could be fun. So here's my little balcony with this wonderful view of the fish tank in the middle. I know fish tanks wouldn't have probably been a part of a real castle, but you know, gotta embellish a little. So we're gonna go out here, and I can swim with the fish. You can swim with the fish in this. She put in a water system because she wanted to make sure that the fish would be, you know, have clean water and whatnot. So there's your fish tank. With a bunch of happy little fish swimming around. And like I said, the only thing that's missing is the bees because they had just come out after we finished playing in this world. Now this world we didn't really actually play in much. Now my husband built this part, so I can't take credit for this, but I'm telling you people, when you say you can't build, that's not true. Anyone can build if they want to. It's just like I say I can't mine. Well, I can mine, I just don't like mining. So I don't go about doing it very often. Same thing goes for some folks that don't like building. You don't say you can't build, just say, I don't really prefer to. It's not my thing. It's just the kitchen workroom. The other area is in the mine area because my husband likes mining. And then this is the big living room. It was just 3 of us, but, you know, I was prepared for a big crowd to come to visit, you know. I'm always prepared for you guys to pop by. And I head up the stairs, and we have my room. Now, I really built this house weird. I put a roof made of glass up instead of the usual roof. Because I wanted to have a ton of light in here in the daytime. My daughter's room in her pinks and purples. And, I mean, you can see I'm starting to get an idea for doing weird stuff with seating and whatnot. And, I mean, I've got windows galore in this thing. It's just a house that sits on an island. So, it's just... I really had fun building it with a completely glass roof. And I took the inspiration for the roof from my daughter's idea for her greenhouse. So this is the house. I'm working on trying to get better at building houses and putting more interesting things into them and details. It's a side patio. I just didn't go out on it. And you go down the little path, and there's my daughter's lighthouse. She built that as well. And she built the greenhouse. And she insists that she's not a builder either. Yet she built a really nice looking greenhouse with really, really nice details in it that I probably would have been too lazy to put in. But she did an amazing job. And I mean, the beehives are in there, obviously. You saw them. And then we've got the back pens here where we put the animals down in a hole in the ground. We're determined not to get the animals loose, so. And we had been playing on bedrock for a while between the castle and this. So, of course, it was really, really challenging to go back and forth between the two types. We learned that certain things that we wanted to do, we couldn't do. And yeah, I couldn't figure out my way around here. I'm embarrassed. But there were just things we couldn't do in bedrock we wanted to do. And I was taking a break from bedrock for a while. This is just before I had to stop streaming and before Mixer closed down. So she built all of this herself, and I'm quite proud of her. I mean, she's like a scientist studying undersea life, you know. And of course this portal, which I don't think was anywhere near where we wanted it to be, but you know, are fortresses ever where we want them to be? No. So this is also before the 1.16 patch, so. Yeah, so the magic room and everything is all down here for a change. In an underwater area, which I thought was kind of a cool switch on things. But all in all, we've proven one thing. People who say they can't build can build. And they can often do a more creative job than they think they can. And everybody has a creative spirit. And Minecraft is the best game so far I've seen to stimulate your creativity. I absolutely love the game. Millions and millions of different worlds, millions and millions of different building ideas. And I want to just say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you come by again soon. Uh-oh. This is what happens when you experiment with magic. And stay safe, stay well, and keep that mask on when you're in public. Nobody wants to get sick. I'll never learn, will I? That's my cat for you. Bye.